Hello and welcome back to Exit. Oh yeah, Jackie Plague. So we are at Revenant now, which is another. This game is very good at having like those like little section starters with very worrying words, if I must say so myself. You are lying, staring at a ceiling, which seems to be pulsating and rocking slowly and steadily. Oh, I don't like when the ceiling pulsates. Suddenly you're convinced that it is about to break and come crashing down on you, so you flinch involuntarily. There's no way of knowing whether this latest hallucination is the result of your long day spent drifting, parched on the open seas, or some other mysterious cause. To be fair, it may just be the ceiling. This is some weird cult ship. Their ceilings may just pulsate. The walls will ooze with green slime. Oh wait, they always do that. The bed in which you find yourself is soft and comfortable, but you cannot really enjoy it. In fact, you feel a certain amount of revulsion. It is too soft, too calm. You're half expecting fearsome, dark, and slimy appendages to begin emerging from the sheets to suffocate you at any moment. Yeah. After having spent several weeks at sea. Weeks? We were out there weeks? Holy shit, how did we... Wait. How did we survive? After having spent several weeks at sea at the mercy of the wind, tide, and currents, you're picked up by a ship and taken to the US of A, baby! All of your memories, the island, the cult, Ayada, are tangled up together like a confused vortex in your mind. They are all strange, distant images, but nevertheless you're finding it increasingly difficult to distinguish them from your present reality. A polite rap at the door tells you that food has been prepared for dinner. You open your eyes. You've been in this hotel for the past 2 days. When the captain made it known that the sunburnt drifter was, in fact, a scholar from London, the University of New York offered to help out until you could return to England, and so they gave you a bed, food, and a small sum of money, sufficient for essentials. So is this not the... It is, though, right? Considering whether or not to accept the invitation to dinner, you see a note being slipped under the door. A note for you. Yeah, whatever, fuck it. You jump out of the bed and have only taken a step or two towards the door when a rush of blood to your head makes you see stars. The walls of the room are spinning to infinity. All around you see faces and eyes in dark fractal arrangements. They're everywhere, on the walls, on the floor, and even on your skin. Ugh. The head rush subsides. The walls of the room appear to have returned to normal levels of solidity. You rub your temples, take a few deep breaths, and finally go over to pick up the note. Still at the threshold of the door, you open the envelope and begin reading. Dear Dr. Huntington, my name is Jean-Baptiste Martin, biologist and surgeon. I heard about you from various fragmentary reports here at the university. I'm as curious as everyone to hear about the story of your shipwreck and salvation, but perhaps even more so about the rumor that you are a doctor. Is being a doctor some rare thing? I think I heard, while questioning one of the men on the ship which brought you here to New York, the name of Martinus Willem Bierink, and I would like to invite you to my home laboratory so that we might discuss various matters which will no doubt be to our mutual interest. Yours sincerely, Jean-Baptiste Martin. Are you gonna fuck me over too? Is that what this is? Also in the envelope is a business card with an address. On the back, in beautiful calligraphy, is the time at which you're expected tomorrow. Whatever, fuck it, I'll go. The invitation has astounded you. Over the past few days in New York, you've been feeling like a sort of performing monkey. At dinner, for example, you felt inquisitive glances on you from all sides. For once, not threatening, but impertinent nonetheless. This, however, is the first interest you have received from a colleague. On one hand, you consider it perfectly normal that your sudden and mysterious recovery from the sea should create such curiosity, but on the other, you cannot help but be suspicious of this letter. I am deeply... I should probably arm myself, though. It never really goes well, though. Look for more information on Martine. Yeah, whatever. You're a guest in a hotel in a foreign city. You're not exactly in a good position to obtain a gun without drawing attention, and you don't want to start alarming people, at least not yet. You go downstairs for the evening meal. Taking advantage of a heated discussion amongst the others, you take and conceal a sharp steak knife. The cold metal pressed against your skin gives you some feeling of security. What are we gonna do, man? You ask the hotel receptionist to deliver your reply to Martine, then return to your room. You are aware that your university benefactors are expecting you to re-establish yourself, and it is not hard to suppose that this meeting with Martine could be the first of many. You know you should be considering your moves very carefully. So what do we get like? What are we doing exactly? After only a few hours, you hear back from Martine. A carriage will be sent to pick you up at the hotel at lunchtime tomorrow. A pleasant chat with colleagues. This is what I want to start an episode on. I like this. A pleasant chat with colleagues. The sun set several hours ago. You're sitting silently at the desk in your hotel room. You glance over at the bed as if it were a ferocious animal crouching, ready to attack. Sleeping and dreaming have not exactly been enjoyable recently. They've, not been enjoyable for months now. This is just the way of things. Nonetheless, you also know that you cannot very well go to tomorrow's meeting with Martine in this frayed state, and you should try to get at least a few hours' rest. Having resolved as much, you are going over to your bed when you hear a noise coming from the direction of the door. Then you detect an even fainter rustle. Fuck it, fling that bitch open. You dart over to the door, fling it open, and go out into the corridor. Your footsteps are muted by the thick carpet which runs its entire length. You look left and right, but there's no one there. You strain your ears in the silence, trying to pick up even the faintest noise of someone creeping furtively away, but there is only silence. You go back into your room and close the door. At your feet, there is another note. Where the fuck did he go? Dear Jake, I'm sure you are just now beginning to feel safe, far from the insanity which has been surrounding you these past few years. However, a good friend must also point out complacency where he sees it. Be very careful, Jake. The cult is active, very active indeed. You should know by now just how far it extends and how it maintains a presence in the most unexpected of places. Martine is just another line of silk in the web being spun around you. Do not let yourself become the fly. What am I supposed to do with that information, though? You're just like, be careful. There's a cult out there. I hope you know. It's like, yeah, I'm fucking aware. What do you want me to do about it? You sit considering all this new message conveys. Your paranoia and suspicion have been confirmed as warranted yet again. You're right to distrust Martine's invitation. That is, if your mysterious informant can actually be entrusted. What if it is in fact he who has nefarious intentions? Martine's, but prepare yourself for any. So that immediately feels correct. You're unconvinced and decide to ignore the informant. Cancel tomorrow's appointment and arrange to meet Martine in a public place. What if he has information at his house, though? I don't fuck it. You prepare yourself with care, giving particular attention to making sure the knife is well hidden. You're not entirely convinced of the veracity of your informant's message, but after all that has happened to you, you stay on one's guard. Seems to be more than sensible. It is a fairly short distance to Martine's house from the hotel. He welcomes you personally at the entrance with great cordiality. The dining room is already prepared for lunch. Lovely. I'm very pleased that you have accepted my invitation, monsieur. I do not hide that my interest in your case goes far beyond simple academic curiosity, or the shipwreck which you survived. I was motivated to contact you also from the desire to spend an afternoon with a fellow European. He chuckles, invites you to sit, and then launches immediately into his questions. Alright. It seems that the ship, the Serenity, on which you were traveling was reported missing many weeks ago. How did you manage to survive at sea for so long? You must have had access to medicine of some kind. So what are we like? What are we gonna tell this guy? Well, if we're truthful to him, does that really hurt us? Because the cult already knows everything. So if he's a member of the cult and is trying to get information from us, I don't surely they already know, right? Escaped from pirates. Yeah, there was pirates and shit. I wasn't really shipwrecked with the Serenity. We were attacked by pirates. I managed to escape from these men just a few days before I was picked up. I was only drifting for a few days, and both feverish and dehydrated. I remember little. Pablo! You must have suffered terribly, and I'm a terrible host to inquire about such a painful episode. Don't worry, we shall drop the subject until after we've taken lunch. D'accord? Sure? I don't... No hablo francés. You're paying close attention to your interlocutor and answering his questions simply. His curiosity and enthusiasm seem authentic, although perhaps a little excessive. I'm gonna ask him something. In the course of your studies, have you ever been contacted by certain groups not belonging to the world of academia? He looks at you for a moment before answering. Oh. I am not entirely sure what you mean by that. Why don't we go to my study for a drink? Perhaps we can further discuss the matter there. What was that I got? Got a little achievo there. What does it say? Paranoia, you were suspicious of Martin and tried to be as cautious as possible with him. Yeah, that is exactly what happened. Martin hands you a drink. Follow me, Dr. Huntington. I want to show you something. My main laboratory is at the university, but I've set up one here at home too, so that I need never interrupt my research. What exactly are you researching? What kind of doctor are you exactly? Is it just biology? Upon entering the laboratory, Martin's attitude seems to transform. The professor knocks back his bourbon and moves in an entirely different way, much less rigidly. Even though the curtains are drawn and the light is dim, the moment you step into the laboratory, you sense the presence of someone there, lying in wait for you. That's not good. No. Hey. What's up? You hear the door closing behind you and someone pulls closed the curtains, leaving only a small blade of light. 3 figures emerge from the shadows and advance towards you. I'm so glad. Mon Dieu, who are you? You waste no time in drawing the knife from your sleeve. The first man comes at you, but you take him by surprise and stab him in the stomach. He yelps and falls to the ground. There are 2 more opponents. Martin lets out an effeminate shriek and runs terrified into the farthest corner of the laboratory. I'm not great at attacking, is the thing. I'm really not great at attacking. I'm gonna defend. You widen your stance, trying to find a good, solid defensive posture, and hold the knife steadily out in front of you. The men seem to be studying you, but you suppose that there is little that they can learn in this poor light. You are clearly in a position of stalemate, and you realize that things could get worse. What if there are more men on their way? You have to find a way to end it quickly. I know medicine. I know medicine shit. I kind of want to put another point in it, just to be super sure. Yeah. It is very difficult to distinguish objects in the darkness of the laboratory, but you manage to find a special-looking bottle containing a transparent liquid. It appears to be carefully and securely sealed shut. It must be an acid of some kind. You snatch the bottle and throw it at one of your attackers. The sound of breaking glass is straight away followed by screams and a faint sizzling. Ah, get fucked. Oh yeah. His screams and manic convulsive gestures distract the other 2 opponents, giving you the time to strike and knock them out. Oh my god, I'm so good! I'm so good! The only sound in the laboratory now is coming from Martin. You find him crouched under a counter with his arms over his head, murmuring a prayer in French. Your heart is racing and you realize that more men could arrive at any moment. You must quickly find a way to get out on this static yet perilous situation. Destroy the laboratory. That seems like it would make him terribly sad. I would like to just open the door. That seems like a way to go. You get to the door and pull the handle, but as you expected, it's locked. Of course it is. Attempt to break the door with a shoulder barge. Attempt to force the door with the knife. Let's do it with our shoulder. Mustering all your remaining strength and sense of urgency, you hurl yourself against the door. Its hinges buckle with the force, but it does not yield. The men are still stunned on the ground, and so you make a second, equally fruitless attempt at the door. Okay, I guess I'll just destroy this place. You are acutely aware that more men could arrive at any moment, or the men you've already dealt with will recover enough to launch a new attack. Martin's servants are also at home, and you have no way of knowing whether they too are involved. Martin is still crouched in a corner. He does not even appear to know what's going on. You start overturning the tables. A fire would be useful in drawing the attention of the authorities, specifically the New York Fire Brigade, which would hinder your opponents considerably. Yeah, fuck it. Go for it, man. Oh, yeah. In the dim light, you start rummaging through flasks, beakers, and other containers, using your nose to try to identify their contents. Frisking the shelves with your fingers, you come across a piece of paper with something scrawled on it. You obviously cannot read it in the darkness, so you pocket it and resume your search. Oh, I got something. I got something. I don't know what it is, but I got something. I found it. Finally, you recognize sulfuric acid. You spill it over the table and light it with matches that you found next to a Bunsen burner. The flames leap up voraciously. You find a window and get ready to smash it to escape. You go over to where Martine is hiding and grab his arm, ready to pull him away. Yeah, I was kind of wondering, it's like, are we just gonna leave him here? No, don't hurt me. Finally, Martine raises his face and sees that it's you. Pointing at the fire, you shout at him to follow you, but then drag him behind you anyway. Martine is terrified and extremely awkward in his movements. You seize him and force him through the window as the flames and the heat behind you grow to a crescendo. I failed an achievement. Oh no, what could it be? What could it be? Pyromania. He resisted the temptation to set one or more fires in the last few months. What? Was there other opportunities for fire that I did not take advantage of? I would assume so. You take a few rapid steps away from the house, pulling Martine along behind you. He's in a bad state, and you have to stop to help him. Turning back to the laboratory, you see the flames are starting to rise up out of the window. Martine is staring at them as if in a trance. Yeah, sorry. In the distance, you can hear the sirens of the New York Fire Brigade. You jettison the professor. You have to get away from here. You leave behind the English-style lawns surrounding Martine's house and start running along the road. Eventually, you let go of Martine's arm so that you can go a little further ahead to assess the situation. Behind you, you hear Martine stopping yet again to catch his breath. I guess I'll be nice. He seems like he's probably fine. Martine is a mess. He is certainly no athlete. He's a mess. Suddenly you hear a noise coming from the far end of the street. There's no way to know whether it's the fire department or more cultists, so you flatten yourself against the wall to avoid being seen. Martine, watching you, does likewise. The noise dies down and no one enters the street. You let out a sigh of relief, and you're preparing to continue your escape when you hear a sound behind you that you recognize immediately, the clicker of a revolver being cocked. You turn slowly around. Martine is holding a revolver aimed at your face. Suddenly his labored breathing has vanished along with his French accent. Oh no! I knew you were a piece of shit. Dr. Huntington, please follow me immediately and no one will come to harm. So medicine and speechcraft. My medicine's real good. I've been doing that a lot lately. Oh, I could get it all the way. I could do it, baby. I'm the most medicinal motherfucker here. There ain't nothing you can do about this. Decide where best to strike him to neutralize the danger. You attack him from a crouched position. The time it takes Martine to aim the gun at you is enough, and you hit his arm with all your strength. Your aim is good, and you hit a nerve in his arm, which, as well as giving him an intense shooting pain, makes him drop the weapon. Get it. You capitalize on his weakness with several more hard blows to his face. Take the weapon. Take it. You bend down and start rummaging through the pockets of the unconscious cultists. How many of, the characters we've interacted in this game have been cultists? What's the proportion we're working with here exactly? Is it like 90%? Is it like 90% of the people I've dealt with are actually cultists? Oh my god, is my friend from Delft a cultist too? Shit. You bend down and start rummaging through the pockets of the unconscious cultist. You find something interesting in his inside jacket pocket, a notebook. Take it. It is a black notebook with a hard cover and a raffia band and keeping it closed. Flicking through the white-lined pages, you come across various notes and sketches. On the first page, you recognize the eye symbol of the cult. You put it in your pocket. I'm getting a lot of shit. Usually that means that they're about to take away all my stuff. That's what happens every goddamn time. Interesting. It has a picture of a lighthouse. Well, of course, lighthouses are very Lovecraft and evil. Once again, you find yourself in great danger. There's not much in the way of choice. You must leave New York at once. Like, surely of all the places, New York is a great place to just not be found in, right? You walk out of the residential area and towards the train station. Going back to the hotel makes no sense since there's nothing there that you really need. You will take the first train that comes. You know, the last time I did this, it didn't go too great. I got on a ship, and then I went to an island, and then I came back from that island, and nothing that happened there was good at all. Traveling to the unknown. Pulled by the rhythmic rocking of the train, you find yourself suddenly immersed in darkness as the train enters a tunnel. It takes a while for your eyes to adjust to the dim light, but when they do, you start to distinguish details of the rock formations inside the tunnel. Rather than a wait, what? Going through what? What the fuck is happening? This has to be a dream. Okay. Rather than a man-made tunnel, it looks like some kind of naturally formed cave. There are hundreds of stalactites and stalagmites all around. As your vision improves even more, you notice a strange gleam on the surface of the rock, as if it were covered with something slimy. Then you can see the same viscous substance forming large rope-like drops at the tips of the stalactites. All of a sudden, you realize that the walls of the cave are moving towards you. The movement becomes less subtle, and the rocks seem to be closing in on your carriage. As the train is ripped to shreds and smashed glass flies in all directions, you finally understand that you're not being crushed by stalactites, but by giant teeth. I gotta stop having these dreams. Can we get some, sleep aid or something? Go smoke some weed and knock yourself out, dude. You awaken with a violent start and let out a barely suppressed scream. You had fallen asleep with your head against the window. You regain your composure and feel the eyes of all the other passengers in the carriage fixed upon you. Oh, fuck off, people. It's like you never had a goddamn nightmare in your life. Thankfully, however, no one dares to speak to you. They're probably all cultists. You have no idea how long you've been asleep, how long the journey will take, or even where you're going. You've taken the first train out of New York Station, leaving the city only a couple of hours shy of dawn. We gotta take a look at this now, because if I don't, it's gonna get taken away from me and I'll never know. Even though I'd love more rest. You pick up the notebook and flick through it again. There are more strange symbols and strings of text written in code. It is scant and useful information, however, except a long series of calculations. What these calculations refer to is a mystery until you see a drawing of a comet and maps of certain locations in North America on an adjacent page. This must be the same comet mentioned by your informant. The same comet prophesied by the drawings in the cave. You shiver involuntarily. You scrutinize the maps, hoping to find further clues, but they are almost completely without annotation. You keep flipping back and forward through the notebook, looking for a pattern. Eventually, you do in fact find something. Two symbols that are completely different to the others and are repeated many times. They seem to refer to two cities, Boston and Plymouth. You pull out the piece of paper which you found in the darkness of Martine's laboratory. It appears to be a sketch, perhaps a stylized lighthouse, done as hurriedly as possible. It could still turn out to be a clue of some kind. Is that where they're gonna do the ritual to summon Cthulhu? It has to be, right? The train ends its journey. You cannot help but smile when you see that you have arrived in a town called Providence. Of course it's Providence. Of course it's Providence. Where else would it be? When you look at the map to see where it is, you have another surprise. You are very close to New Bedford. That is weird. Apparently, what was supposed to be an attempt at an escape has only brought you next to one of the cult's main centers of power. It seems to you now that all the choices you've made so far have all been inexorably leading to this destination. You are clutching Martine's notebook tightly. When you alight from the train, you do not even bother leaving the station and go straight to the ticket office. Apparently, you have very few options left. You need only decide between Boston and Plymouth. Go with Plymouth. Why not? Plymouth, the city that gave life to the American Empire since the day the Pilgrims first landed on its shores. The saltiness of the air overpowers you the moment you leave the station. The sky is leaden gray, not exactly ideal for free and positive thoughts. Oh, shit. Shit. Oh, shit. Shit. Oh, shit, it's happening. Oh, shit. Fuck, shit. In one of the parts of the sky free from clouds, you see a faint luminescent trail that puts a crack in the heavens, a comet. Are we fucked? Did I do bad? Are we dead? You look around. You do not have many options or clues to help you in tracking down the cult. It's gotta be the lighthouse, right? Surely. You are following a hunch. Perhaps the note which you found in Martine's laboratory pointed not only to Plymouth, but to something more specific. The cult might even be connected to the lighthouse, or to something else nearby. You decide that it's probably worthwhile to have a look in any case. That seems way better than just like wandering the open city, right? You look out towards the sea and straight away see it, silhouetted in the distance. In reality, it's a double lighthouse, or two lighthouses right next to each other. You head down towards the beach, which leads all the way to the imposing edifice on the horizon. As you're walking, you come across two sailors and catch snippets of their conversation. One of them is talking about a comet passing over the skies of America that will be visible. Okay. So it's just next few days is what it is. Sometime during then, at least. That will be visible for some days, even in daylight. You'd like to tell them you've already seen it and that it is considered a bad omen. Oh my god, they said the thing! They said the thing! But you carry on walking, lulled by the gentle rustle of the surf, your eyes fixed on the lighthouse. As you're walking, an unnerving thought creeps into your mind. Walking to the lighthouse like this, across the beach, seems a little naive. If the cult really is at that lighthouse or somewhere nearby, they'll see you from a mile off. Cursing your carelessness, you walk away from the sea towards the relative cover of the rocks. Whatever. It's too late for that now. No time for caution. You cannot have them see you coming. Yet your caution alone does not explain your hurry to get away from the water. You realize that you also had a simultaneously creeping fear of the water, rising inside you with every wave. That's fair. And you know that it is not just the memory of your recent shipwreck creating this anxiety, but rather your perception of a presence, some kind of threat, coming from the direction of the waves. Each small, crashing iteration intones black, menacing curses. Love it. Looking towards the lighthouse, you spy a man. You're quite sure that he is one of them, even if you're too far away to see the inevitable tattoo on the wrist. From this distance, one might think he was a walker out for a stroll, enjoying the view in the bracing sea air. You, however, won't be fooled so easily. You start to watch him from afar, and before long he looks around, takes an irregular detour, and disappears between some large rocks. A hidden entrance. That must be another one of their temples. You might have just found the hiding place of the cult. You easily find the opening to the entrance by following the footprints of the man. It is a very small opening between the rocks leading to a passage. You hear muffled rhythmic sounds coming from deep inside. Now it is beyond all doubt. The cult, the comet, and the ritual is going on now. Everything is finally converging inside that small opening. Ooh, okay. Is this it? Is this about to be it? I feel like it may be. I feel like we finally found our way to the end. I'm not certain of that. I don't know how long this game actually is, but it kind of feels like we're getting to the finale here. What the fuck are we gonna do? How are we gonna win? Ooh, if they ask me to fight, I'm so fucked. I'm so fucked. Oh, I'm fucked. I don't want to be fucked. I want to win. Alright, well, I guess we're about as prepared as we're ever gonna be. So, I hope you've been enjoying this. If the next episode is the finale, I'm not sure it is or not, but, you know, maybe. I hope you come back and see it. So anyway, have a good day. Goodbye.